Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You're all the reasons why this keeps going. Thank you. Join the Legion today at patreon.com/63rdlegion for free and help decide next week's new character. Joining my paid tiers allows you early access to my content, a shout out in my videos, and home-brewed 5e items for your games. Today we're turning to a very underrated fighting game series. From Darkstalkers, it's Lilith. At birth, Morrigan Aslan was extremely powerful. And I'm not meaning she was just strong, I mean scary strong. Her adopted father, Belial Aslan, realized a child born as an S-class Darkstalker would not only make her a target, but more importantly, require her to learn massive restraint. His plan? Fracture Morrigan's soul to downgrade her class till she was ready. Cutting her soul into 3 pieces, he left 1/3 of her soul with her, and another 1/3 of the soul with himself. The final piece was just hidden away. Belial planned on returning the hidden piece when Morrigan was ready, with the final piece coming back to her upon his death and her rising to the throne of the Darkstalkers. Sadly, Belial died before he could return the final piece. It was centuries later where Jedi Doma discovered this piece and shaped a body for this soul to serve him, and this was the birth of Lilith. Since Lilith is a piece of Morrigan, she is a perfect clone in the sense of power. She can teleport, launch energy blasts, fly, summon bats, can transform her wings into weapons, can create duplicates of herself, and disguise herself. All of this, of course, is only at a smaller fraction of Morrigan's total power. So out of the two, Morrigan is a powerhouse, but Lilith is no pushover, and she uses her abilities with amazing skill. She's also a Darkstalker who enjoys life to its fullest and does things with a flair. Now, a lot of you are going to probably be saying, why make Lilith if she's just a Morrigan clone and you've already done Morrigan? Well, that's simple. She's actually the exact opposite of Morrigan. Where Morrigan is dark, Lilith is bright. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook and Spelljammer's Adventurer's Guide. We're using standard point array to keep things simple, and we are multi-classing, so watch those minimums if you use another stat system. Make Charisma 15, Dex 14, Intelligence 13, Con 12, Wisdom 10, and we're going to be dumping Strength with an 8 because it's not too important for this build. I will be fixing it later on, so don't worry. Lilith is a succubus, an ageless creature that feeds on emotion. For Morrigan, we went with Shatter Kai, but in the idea of Morrigan being darker while Lilith being brighter, we're going to be using Astral Elves from Spelljammers. By the way, I would like to point out when I say Morrigan is darker, her powers are more based on darkness, while Lilith's powers are based on light. That's actually not the personalities, because Morrigan's actually one of the heroes of the series. Astral Fire gives you the cantrip Dancing Lights. This creates 3 small lights that can appear as bats out to 120 feet for 1 minute while you maintain this spell. Each bat emits light in a 10-foot radius. As a bonus action, you can move each of these lights up to 60 feet, but they must remain within 20 feet of each other. Dark Vision lets you see in dim light as if it's bright light, and darkness as if it's dim light out to 60 feet. Keen Senses gives you the skill Perception. Fey Ancestry gives you advantage on saving throws against the charm condition. Starlight Step gives you a 30-foot teleportation as a bonus action, and you can do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus per long rest. Astral Trance means you don't sleep and can't be put to sleep magically. Your long rests are 4 hours long, where you enter a trance-like meditation. When you finish your long rest, you gain proficiency in 1 skill and 1 weapon or tool of your choice. You retain these proficiencies until you finish a long rest. To end your lineage out, you know the language Common and 2 more of your choice. For background, place +2 into Dex and +1 into Charisma. For your origin feat, Skilled gives you 3 proficiencies in skills or tools of your choice. Take the skills Persuasion, Performance, and Acrobatics. For your background skills, take Athletics and Religion. To finish out your background, take a proficiency in a musical instrument of your choice. Level 1 Warlocks start things off with 2 skills. Take Deception and Arcana. You are proficient in simple melee weapons, light armor, and the saving throws Wisdom and Charisma. Eldritch Invocations are gifts from your patron that augment your features or grant you new ones. For your first invocation, Pact to the Blade gives you your Shining Blade. With a bonus action, you summon a weapon of your choice that you are always going to be proficient with. Your Shining Blade looks like a wing wrapped around your arm that slashes, so go from there. There is a reason I'm not talking about this right now. We'll get to it soon, trust me. When you summon this weapon, you choose its damage type from Radiant, Psychic, or Necrotic. I'd go with Radiant since we're building on a theme, but I'm not your father, do what you want. Now to the best part. This weapon can use your Charisma modifier for attack and damage, and it's a spellcasting focus for all your Warlock spells. Pact Magic grants you a small measure of your patron's power and makes you a fake spellcaster. You have limited spell slots, but you will have these spell slots be at higher levels, and you will get them back at the end of a short or long rest. You're going to start things off with 2 cantrips and 2 first level spells. For these spells, True Strike energizes your weapon with magical energy, and that's actually all it does right now, because your pact weapon already does the rest. It uses your charisma for attack and damage and changes the damage type to radiant. More will come later, I promise. I'm taking it now because I want to. If you don't, just hold off for a little bit. But that being said, I would take it first. Prestidigitation creates a small magical effect within 10 feet of you for up to 1 hour. These effects include lighting or killing a flame that is up to a size of a campfire, clean something that is up to 1 cubic feet in size, a harmless sensory effect like a shower of sparks or sounds, and a few more things. Charm Person targets 1 humanoid within 30 feet and forces a wisdom save. If they fail, they are charmed by you for 1 hour and see you as a friend. The charm condition ends early if you hurt them, and when it ends, they will know you charmed them. Arms of Hadar surround you with a swarm of bats that hits every creature within 10 feet of you and forces a strength save. If they fail, they take 2d6 necrotic damage and can't take reactions until the start of its next turn. I wasn't wanting to give you this, but this is the closest I can get to your Splendor Love move. Level 2 Warlocks now have Magical Cunning. Now you can take 1 minute to regain use spell slots equal to half your total number of spell slots you have, which is 2, and is going to remain 2. I told you this was going to be limited. You can do this once per long rest. You also get 2 more invocations. For these invocations, Armor of Shadows lets you cast Mage Armor without a spell slot. This gives you an AC of 13 plus Dex for 8 hours, when you don't wear armor. Mask of Many Faces lets you cast Disguise Self without a spell slot. This covers you in an illusion for 1 hour and makes you appear as someone else, but you just use this for clothes. This is just an illusion and will not hold up to inspection. Also, you can make yourself 1 foot shorter or taller if you want, but you cannot make yourself look like another creature that doesn't have your same basic body type. For your new spell, take what you want. We're good on first levels. Level 3 Warlocks gain access to their subclass, and now it's time for all the spells you need. Celestial in the player's handbook, perfect for someone who gains their power from another soul and really likes light. Like to remind you that my Morrigan build used Shadow Magic for its subclass. Healing Light grants you a pool of d6s that give the power to heal. You gain a number of these d6s that are equal to your Warlock level. As a bonus action, you can heal yourself or someone within 60 feet by spending these d6s, but you can't expand more than your Charisma modifier in d6s. For each d6 you spend, you can roll it to regain HP. You regain all used d6s at the end of a long rest. Celestial spells grant you more spells that you learn at different levels that don't count towards your total number you know. You also have your spell slots upgraded to 2nd level. Make sure to check your spells to see if upcasting them at higher levels adds any more effects or damage. By the way, I'm going to tell you what your spells do at the base level to keep things from being confusing. For your celestial spells, Sacred Flame gives you your Soul Flash. You launch a blast of light out to 60 feet and force a dex save, dealing 1d8 radiant damage, and your target can't benefit from half cover or 3/4 cover. Light lets you imbue light into an object up to a size large or smaller. For 1 hour, the object sheds bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light in another 20-foot radius. You can only cast this spell on 1 object at a time. Cure Wounds heals you or someone you touch 2d8 plus your charisma charisma modifier. Well, actually, you heal 48 plus your charisma modifier because your warlock spell slots are higher. Guiding Bolt fires your soul flash out to 120 feet and deals 4d6 radiant damage on a hit, but you do more than that. And now the target slightly glows, granting advantage on the next attack against it till the end of your next turn. Aid chooses up to 3 creatures within 30 feet, including you. For 8 hours, the chosen creatures have their max HP and current HP increased by 5. Lesser Restoration ends 1 condition on a creature you touch. These conditions are blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poison. For your new spell, Mirror Image creates 3 duplicates of you that move in unison with you for 1 minute. These duplicates can take hits meant for you. When you are targeted, roll a d6 for each duplicate. If any of the d6s are 3 or more, one of your duplicates takes the hit and is destroyed. These duplicates ignore all other damage and effects. The spell ends early if all duplicates are destroyed, and these duplicates can be ignored by a creature that has the blinded condition, blind sight, or true sight. Level 1 fighters begin with bonus proficiencies when multi-classed into. You are now proficient in all weapons, medium armor, and shields. Fighting style grants you a fighting style feat. For this feat, dueling adds +2 to the damage of your weapon when you are holding it in one hand, or maybe it's just wrapped around your hand, and holding no other weapon. Second Wind lets you heal yourself by 1d10 plus your fighter level twice per long rest, but you regain 1 use after a short rest. Weapon Mastery allows you to unlock special properties of your weapons that you have proficiency with. Remember how I said we'll talk about what weapon you can make with your packed weapon later? Well, later just happened. At the end of a long rest, you choose 3 weapon mastery properties from weapons you are proficient with, and now when you use that weapon, you can use its weapon mastery property. Going with slashing damage and only using one hand, Battle Axe gives you Topple, which forces a con save against a creature you hit with this weapon, knocking them prone if they fail. Long Sword gives you Sap, which causes the creature you hit with this weapon disadvantage on their next attack before the start of your next turn. Hand Axes give you Vex, which gives you advantage on your next attack against a creature you hit with this weapon before the end of your turn. Also, little tidbit, if you choose Scimitar, you get Nick, which improves 2-weapon fighting. So if you want to change out your fighting style for that and have some fun, go for it. Or maybe just wait a few levels and that will also happen. Level 2 fighters receive Action Surge. You can give yourself a free action once per short or long rest, but this action can't be to cast a spell. Tactical Mind lets you use Second Wind when you fail a skill check by adding the d10 to the check, but if it still fails, you don't lose the use of Second Wind. You've hit character level 5, raise your proficiency bonus to +3. Sacred Flame now does 2d8 radiant damage, and True Strike now deals an extra 1d6 radiant damage on a hit. Told you it was going to be good. Level 3 fighters now have access to their subclass. Champion from the player's handbook is your basic fighter without any special bells and whistles, because we are getting a lot of bells and whistles from your other class. Improved critical hit allows you to crit on a 19 or 20. Remarkable Athlete is going to help with that negative in strength for now. You now have advantage on athletics checks and initiative rolls. Also, when you score a critical hit, you can move up to half your speed without provoking an attack of opportunity. Level 4 fighters earn our first ability score improvement to bump up charisma for better spell attack, spell DC, and of course attack and damage. You also now have 3 uses of Second Wind per long rest, and up to 4 weapon masteries. Level 5 fighters gain extra attack. You can now attack twice with a single attack action. Tactical Shift allows you to move half your speed when you use Second Wind, and this doesn't provoke an attack of opportunity. Level 6 fighters earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Charisma. You've hit character level 9, bring your proficiency bonus to +4. Level 4 Warlocks earn another ability score improvement, start raising your dex for better AC. For your new spell, Suggestion is going to give you your ultimate move, Gloomy Puppet Show. This is where you force your enemies to perform for you. Yes, this is a move in Darkstalkers, I love this series. You target one creature within 30 feet and force a wisdom save. If they fail, they now have the charmed condition. You tell them a command that is no more than 25 words, and now for the next 8 hours, while you maintain this spell, they must obey the command to the best of their abilities. This command cannot be to hurt themselves or their their allies. They must be able to understand what you're saying, and it must sound achievable. It will end early if you hurt them, but you don't have to make them dance for 8 hours. Mage Hand sends out a spectral bat out to 30 feet that can act as an extra hand. You can make it do simple interactions such as opening doors or lifting objects that weigh no more than 10 pounds, but can't use it to attack. This bat lasts for 1 minute. Level 5 Warlocks earn 2 more invocations. For these invocations, Otherworldly Leap lets you cast Jump without a spell slot. This lets you jump 30 feet by spending 10 feet in your movement. Ascendant Step lets you cast Levitate without a spell slot. This allows you to begin floating on a swarm of bats for 10 minutes while you maintain the spell. While active, you can raise yourself 20 feet into the air, and each turn you can use your action to raise or lower yourself by 20 feet. You can only move vertically, but you can be pushed or pulled horizontally. When the spell ends, you float down harmlessly. You also have your spell slots upgraded to 3rd level. For your celestial spells, Daylight creates a 60-foot radius sphere out to 60 feet from you of bright sunlight. This can be on an object, and it stops the darkness spell. This lasts for 1 hour. Revivify allows you to raise one creature back from the dead as long as they have only been dead for 1 minute, bringing them back to 1 HP. This spell doesn't work on a creature that has died of old age and doesn't replace missing limbs. For your new spell, Fly grants you a flying speed of 60 feet for 10 minutes while you maintain the spell, and you can hover. You've reached character level 11. Sacred Flame now deals 3d8 radiant damage, and True Strike now deals an extra 2d6 radiant damage on a hit. Level 6 Celestial Warlocks receive Radiant Soul. You now have resistance to radiant damage, and once per turn when you deal fire or radiant damage, you can add your charisma modifier to the damage. For your new spell, Summon Fae summons a small version of you to fight with you. For 1 hour while you maintain the spell, a Fae spirit comes to your aid. When you summon it, you choose its form from Fuming, Merfolk, or Trixie. This form describes its abilities when it teleports 30 feet, like advantage on its next attack, creating magical darkness, or forcing a wisdom save that charms your enemies. Level 7 Warlocks gain another invocation. For this invocation, Agonizing Blast adds your charisma modifier to the damage of one of your Warlock cantrip. Place this into True Strike or Sacred Flame, your choice. I would go with True Strike for one massive hit. You also have your spell slots upgraded to 4th level. For your celestial spells, Guardian of Faith calls forth a large spectral creature out to 30 feet for 8 hours. Any creature that moves within 10 feet of it must make a dex save or take 20 radiant damage. The Guardian vanishes when it deals a total of 60 radiant damage. Wall of Fire creates a 60-foot long, 20-foot tall wall of fire for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. Not really you, but who cares. Any creature that is within the wall when it appears must make a dex save or take 5d8 fire damage. This wall will constantly deal 5d8 fire damage to any creature within 10 feet of it on one side of it that you choose, and if they pass through the wall, they take 5d8 fire damage. For your new spell, Charm Monster is an upgraded version of Charm Person, but now targets any creature, not just humanoids. You're now character level 13, bring your proficiency bonus to +5. Level 8 Warlocks earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Dex. For your new spell, take what you want. Level 7 Champion Fighters gain an additional fighting style feat. Take what you want, but if you're interested in using 2 weapons, grab 2-weapon fighting. And maybe think about the Warlock spell Shadow Blade to summon a weapon of pure psychic energy that is a light weapon. Up to you. Level 8 fighters earn another ability score improvement. Place this into strength to clean up that negative. Level 9 fighters now have Indomitable. You can now re-roll 1 failed saving throw per long rest. Tactical Mastery allows you to replace a weapon mastery property of a weapon you are using with either the push, sap, or slow, and you can do this each attack. I'll let you look up what those do. You are now character level 17. Your proficiency bonus is maxed out at +6. Sacred Flame now deals 4d8 radiant damage. True Strike now deals an extra 3d6 radiant damage on a hit. Level 10 champion fighters are now heroic warriors. You can now give yourself an inspiration dice whenever you start a turn without one. You also now have 4 uses of second wind and up to 5 weapon masteries. Level 11 fighters now have extra attack times 2. You can now attack 3 times with a single attack action. Our final level is level 12 fighters, and you earn our final ability score improvement, and I should say you now have access to epic level boons. Now, because none of the boons really fit you lore-wise, I'm just going to give another ability score improvement. But you can take an epic level if you want. In fact, I suggest you do because there is some amazing ones. I am going to place this into wisdom for better perception. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 10, Dex 20, Con 12, Intelligence 13, Wisdom 12, Charisma 20. Your total class levels are Fighter 12, Warlock 8. Let's dive in. You are a pretty good fighter. Your attacks are dealing radiant damage, and because you can customize, you can add different properties to your attacks. You can attack 3 times normal and up to 6 times with an action surge. You can also fire a guiding bolt that deals 7d6 radiant damage on a hit. You can also supercharge your attack by casting True Strike, having agonizing blast on True Strike, and then add your radiant soul to that. So you'll be dealing 3d6 plus 10 radiant damage before the weapon damage, which is also radiant. You also have great abilities with 7 skills, not including the skill you can grab between long rests. You can fly, levitate yourself, teleport, disguise yourself, heal up to 8d8 plus 5, or heal yourself 1d10 plus 12. Not even going to talk about your healing light. Can give yourself an AC of 18, give yourself inspiration, create duplicates of yourself, can summon a double to fight with you, and leap into the air up to 30 feet. Downside. Be thankful a lot of spells you have don't require spell slots because you only have 2. You can get 1 back when you need it, but only once per long rest. You also have a lot of concentration spells, so you're going to have to be very picky with what you use your spell slots on. Thankfully, you can also heal without spell slots, but damn does that 8d8 plus 5 look really good. You're also really geared towards radiant damage, but how many creatures are actually immune to that? I think you're going to be fine, but I do have to mention that. Finally, you're going to want to bob and weave, because while you lay out the damage, you're only having over 130 HP taking the average. It's time to find your place in the world and maybe figure out who you truly are meant to be. I'd like to give a special shout out to my Artificer tier. Thank you John Martin, Christopher R. Hunter, Java Squirrel, Matthew Dens, Burton, and Jonathan Haynes. You guys rock. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. And make sure to check out my Patreon where you can help decide next week's new character.